Hello, thanks for tuning in. My name is Susan from Unity Fitness and Yoga, and welcome to a practice today for gratitude. We'll do a little bit of yin, a little bit of yang, right? We're going to do some long, slow holds. We'll do a little bit of movement, and then we'll come back to some long, slow holds. And for our practice today, you'll like to have a yoga block if you have those. A good substitute would be a nice firm pillow or a couple of folded blankets that we can stack up. We'll be using this for a posture toward the end of our practice. And I'm going to stay seated during our opening, but I'd like you to recline down on your backs into reclined butterfly. All right, so you'll lie down on your back, bottoms of the feet will come together. You'll just rest and relax here. If you feel any strain or pull in the inner thighs and groins, if you've got those yoga blocks, a great use for them for our opening, and I say this because we'll be here for about 5 minutes, is to add some prop underneath, right? Just for a little more comfort, a little more of a restorative nature to the shape and the posture. Right, so I'll give you another moment or so to get yourself set up there. Again, I'm going to stay seated, but I'd like you to recline. And as you are reclining back and you start to settle in, let's take a full deep breath in together. And as you exhale, just a soft sigh out. And again, full breath in. Exhale, soft sigh out. If it's comfortable, let your eyes softly close. As your eyes close, it gives you an opportunity to tune in. And to tune in, to become present. So as you're settling in, take a moment and just notice the different things that you're noticing in your body. Physical sensation. Maybe there's lingering emotions, maybe thoughts. Just noticing all of these things that make up the whole of you. This is a way to arrive, to be present. And I'll let your awareness just simply rest on your breath now. In our yoga practice today, we'll be exploring gratitude. Simply put, gratitude is the act of being thankful. The ability to be thankful and show appreciation for all things in your life. Now, you may feel spontaneous gratitude, right, when someone surprises you with an unexpected gift or brings you a bouquet of flowers when you're having a bad day. Or maybe there's a special snack waiting for you, right? You feel this surge of gratitude. But you can practice gratitude in many more situations than these. And you don't need to have a surprise or some act of kindness to befall you to feel grateful for what you have. In fact, we can exercise gratitude every day, just for the simple things. I saw an article recently, or maybe it was an interview with someone, I don't even remember where it was, but it was a mom who was teaching her kids how important it is to make your bed in the morning. And she enveloped that with a lesson on gratitude. right? Just starting the day, you get out of bed, you make your bed with a sense of gratitude for what you have, right? Not everyone has that. Be thankful and grateful for that comfortable bed that you were just in, the sheets, the ability to rest. And it just got me thinking about gratitude and abundance. And oftentimes I think that when we set intentions for ourselves, we oftentimes come from a mindset of believing that what we have now isn't enough, right? That once we acquire this thing, or once we earn this new job, or once we lose that 10 pounds, once we do those things, we'll be happy. That our happiness is conditional on something else, something outside of ourselves. And I think instead, if we were to move through our day from a mindset that what we have and what we are already is enough, it's perfect, it's whole, that's a mindset of gratitude, right? The wanting, the needing of something outside of ourselves to make us happy is, we can think of that as like the scarcity mindset. Like there's not enough to go around, so I've got to get my piece of the pie. A quote that I found earlier from the Dalai Lama, I think kind of sums up our practice today. In order to be happy, we must first possess inner contentment. And inner contentment doesn't come from having all we want, but rather from wanting and appreciating, being grateful for all we have. When you can take time to appreciate all the ways that life is being kind to you, you attract more positive experiences like joy and abundance. Abundance comes from the belief that what we have is enough, that we are enough. So perhaps today, as a part of your intention for our practice, we use the intention of just gratitude, thankfulness. What you think, you become. So let's practice more gratitude as we open the heart, as we open the hips today in our practice. Let's blink your eyes open, please. Just wiggle the fingers and toes a little bit. If you have any props underneath the outer thighs, pull them out, set them off to the side. Lift the knees up. Take a nice long stretch. Fingertips in one direction, toes in the opposite, and then hug the knees in towards your chest. And just rock a bit side to side. We'll take our next posture as a one knee twist. Keep your right knee drawn in. Take the left hand to the outside of the right knee and drop the right knee over to the left into a one knee twist. The right arm can extend out to the right. And if you wish, feel free to bring a cushion, a block, anything underneath that right knee for support. And you can increase the twist in the spine if you wish by turning your head to look to the right. Twists are great, not only physically for letting go, detoxification is often associated with a twist physically, but mentally as well, right? Just letting go of things that no longer serve us. So as we pause here in this twist for about another minute and a half, see if we can just in our minds and our hearts soften and let go of that scarcity mindset. And just let that go. We are enough. You are enough. Breathe deeply into all of those areas you feel tension, tightness, holding, gripping. Opening up through the right shoulder, the chest. One more deep breath here. Let's take a full deep breath in. Pause at the top of the inhale. And then exhale, soft sigh out. Let's roll, literally, roll right into the next posture. Roll all the way over onto your belly. As you come onto your belly, I have to adjust a little bit because I've got the wall close to me. Take your right arm and extend your right arm out to the side. And in fact, I'm going to turn around so my arm is not facing the wall. All right. So right arm is extending out from the shoulder. And you can go ahead and take a look, make sure that that right arm is extended right out from the shoulder. And left hand is alongside the body like I'm going to do a one-arm push-up. Okay? Now I'll turn to my right cheek. And the most gentle variation, so this is variation 1, bring your left knee up alongside of you, like the left knee is drawing up toward the left shoulder. So this is just very, in a gentle way, rolling us over on top of the right arm, okay? If you desire something a little more, right, maybe you're really comfortable here, but you want a deeper stretch, you could take both knees and bring them up. So from the top down, it looks like we're sitting in a chair. Let me get the timer set and then I'll show you a couple of other variations here. So variation 1 is just the knee up alongside, 2, both knees up toward, right? From here, other options, the hand that's in front of you, you might bring it along back behind, all right? You could also take the top knee and lift that knee up, right? As you lift that knee up, it's again rolling you farther to the right. You could even combine that with the hand. And remember, if you try any of these variations and they don't work for you, right, it's not available in your body today, then just back out and go to what is appropriate, right? There's no need for you to push yourself deeper in, right? We just find that place of sensation and pause there. Breathe into it. Opening the chest, the heart. And staying tuned into your breath. Just opening physically the space around the heart, the chest, the ribs. Couple breaths more here. And then we'll slowly start to exit the posture. So let's exit by rolling back onto the belly. And then keep rolling. Roll all the way over onto your back again. Yeah. As you lie down on your back, just take a moment and pause. You can extend the legs out by the sides, maybe bring the palms up as well. Just pausing and noticing. Noticing the effects of that practice. We did the two things just on one side. Let's set ourselves up for side two. So we start with the twist, right? So left knee, draw it in towards your chest. Right hand supports outside of the left knee to drop it over into a one knee twist. And then left arm extends out to the left. Yeah, the left arm, you can adjust the positioning of it. You can turn your head farther to the left if you like. Again, pull in a prop, maybe support the left knee or the foot. Breathing into and through the sensation. Making space. Letting go of what no longer serves us. What no longer serves that attitude of gratitude. What you have, what you are, is enough. It's a nice intention as well. I am enough. Or just shorthand it to enough, right? I am enough. Rewriting the script, releasing that scarcity mentality. One more breath here. Take that full deep breath in. As you exhale, soft sigh out. And then we'll inhale and roll back onto your belly. We'll take that one arm opener. I like to call that one broken wing. So we're going to roll back onto the belly. And now left arm will extend out to your side, extending it out from the shoulder. Move my things out of the way here. So left arm is extending out to the side. Right hand is to the floor, as if you're going to do a one arm push-up. So option one, you might start by just simply bringing the right knee up alongside. Maybe that's enough for the shoulder. And keep in mind that each side of the body is a little different, right? Or you can roll all the way over a little farther so that the two knees come forward. So from top down, this is where we look like we're sitting in a chair. I better set that timer before I get to talking, huh? All right. And then more options from here. You might take the top knee and lift it again. That rolls you farther over onto that arm. Be mindful of anything going on in your shoulder, right? You could also bring the right arm back behind you. Practice gratitude. We have more to be grateful for. Why isn't that interesting? Inhale. We'll untwist. And press yourself up to sit. And we'll just take a moment as we come up to sit. Feeling great so far. We'll do another set of 2 poses back to back, side to side. Now shifting down to the hips. So the first pose we'll take is in yin, we call it swan, otherwise known as pigeon pose. And there are 2 options, 2 ways that you could do pigeon. So you could stay completely upright in your pigeon, and we'll have the right knee forward, left leg back. I'm on the opposite side, but all right. So right knee forward, left leg back, right? Or you could come onto your back and cross right ankle over the left knee, okay? Whatever you choose, we're doing the right side first, right? Right knee forward, left one back. I'll get the timer set up as we get ourselves into our posture. Bring in any supports, any props that you like for your body. Right. So I'm going to take the more upright variation, but again, feel free to take the reclined variation if that suits you today. Either way, we're looking for sensation in the outer right hip, not the knee. So make adjustments, add in props if that works for you. Or if you're in the forward variation and you're finding discomfort in the knee or the hip, then just come reclined onto your back, right? And eventually you'll settle in and find a place of stillness where you can just rest in this posture. So I saw a study recently on middle-aged adults, and it was completed by researchers at Yale and Miami. And it revealed that those with more positive beliefs around aging lived 7.5 years longer than those with less positive perceptions. 7.5 years. So, like, for real, having an attitude of gratitude can prolong your life. Chew on that for a little bit, huh? The mind really is everything. What you think, you become. Proven by science. We'll take a few more deep breaths here. Let's slowly start to make your way out of this posture. If you are reclined on your back, bring yourself up to sit. We'll take half butterfly next with the right leg extended. So the same leg that we had as the forward or top leg in our pigeon or swan will be the one that is extended, right? So we'll extend that leg, opposite knee bends. Again, use props as appropriate for you. If this knee and thigh isn't down, you just prop something up under it, all right? It's your preference as to where you fold. We'll be folding forward either between the legs here in this space, which in this, it keeps the hips more balanced and neutral, or you can fold over the extended leg. That'll actually give you a nice stretch in the low back on the opposite side. So on the left side in this case. And again, feel free, props to support maybe the arms, the hands. And once we get into the posture, get into the shape and find that edge of sensation, from there now, see if you can soften the body. Release the gripping, the holding. Feeling this just really wonderful lengthening, right? The back of the right leg, maybe the low back. We store a lot of our emotional baggage, leftover stress and tension in the hips. I love hip openers. Right? Help me to release some of the issues in my tissues. Let's inhale, bring yourself upright. If you use props, go ahead and set them out of the way for that one. And let's find our pigeon or swan pose on the left side now. So left knee either forward if you're doing the upright variation, or left ankle over the right knee if you go reclined on your back. All right? And there is nothing saying, there's no rule saying that you have to do the same variation on both sides, right? Both sides of your body might be a little bit different, and we need to make adjustments there. That's okay. Wherever you are, just begin to settle in. Reminding you that we shouldn't be feeling any pain or discomfort in the knee, right? This is all outer hip, thigh. So make any adjustments, add in any props, adjust your positioning as necessary, as required, or dictated by your body today. As we luxuriate the next minute and a half here in this posture, right? We're continuing to let go of things that no longer serve us, that no longer serve this attitude of gratitude. Just let it go. Make space. Make space for the abundance that we already have. Keep rewriting the narrative inside. I am enough. I am enough. Slowly start to exit this posture. Bring yourself up all the way to a seat. And we'll take our half butterfly now with left leg extending. So your left leg's going to go out. Right knee draws in. Remember, pull in any props as appropriate for this side of the body. Lengthen the spine up tall, and then find your place of forward bend, whether you forward bend between the legs or over the left leg. You know, another added benefit of focusing on gratitude and abundance is that you encourage other positive habits to come to fruition, right? Like begets like. And then cultivating these positive habits, this positive attitude, helps us to cultivate health and happiness, not only within ourselves, but to those around us, right? We all know we can feel that attitudes, whether happiness or frustration, are contagious, right? So let's put more of this one out there. On inhale, slowly bring yourself upright. And release that posture. Let's go ahead and bring ourselves onto hands and knees. We'll do just a little bit of movement here, and then we'll take a couple of more deeper stretches. So coming onto hands and knees, setting up on all fours, just a couple rounds of cow and cat. We'll inhale to arch the spine, exhale to round. And next exhale, hips to the heels, child's pose, pause here, extended child's pose. So extend and reach those arms forward. On inhalation, glide forward onto all fours for cow pose. And then as you exhale, hips to the heels, child's pose, arms extending. You do that again. Inhale, cow pose, exhale, child's pose. Let's add in downward facing dog this time if you wish. If not, feel free to just come forward to cow pose and back to child's pose. But if you're joining me, once you're in cow pose, curl the toes under, hips up and back, stretch long. Inhale back to the knees, exhale, child's pose. Let's do that twice more. Inhale to the knees, cow pose. Exhale, curl the toes under, hips up and back, downward dog. And again to the knees, inhale, exhale, child's pose. Inhale to the knees, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to the knees and exhale back, child's pose. Let's inhale up onto the knees, onto all fours, and step your right foot forward. As the right foot comes forward, we'll take a nice long lunge, hips forward, just getting a nice stretch to the front of the back hip. Good, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, lengthen the right leg out. Good, inhale, rebend the right knee. Exhale, extend the right knee. Good, once more. Inhale and exhale. Good, rebend the right knee, take the right leg back, and we'll switch sides. The left one will come forward. Inhale here for the kneeling lunge, and exhale, extend the left leg. Inhale to rebend and look forward. Exhale. Good, once more. And exhale. Inhale, rebend the left knee. Take the left leg back and return to child's pose. Pause. Walk the hands back toward the knees. Bring yourself upright. All right. So let's take a half saddle. It's to be a relatively short hold. If this doesn't work for your body, for your knees, an alternate would be Sphinx pose. So lying down on your belly, propped up on the forearms, right? But let's just try this. We'll try this together. If you can sit on your knees, you probably will be okay here. Some things that you could add for a little extra comfort, you could put a blanket or something underneath the tops of the feet. You could also bring some support, like just a rolled up blanket underneath the backs of the knees. All right, but just follow along, see how you do here on this one. So I'll take a half saddle. So I'll keep the right leg bent back and I'll extend the left one forward. Now, you'll notice that I'm sitting inside the foot rather than on top of it, right? And my thigh bone is facing primarily forward, right? Take a big inhale here. We'll do about 1 minute on each side here. Let me just get back to my timer. So lengthen up tall. You might start to walk the hands back. Right, so if there's any strain or any pull on the knee, I want you to come out, right? You don't have to do this posture. But if it's available to you, it's a really great stretch for the front of the hip, the front of the thigh. And so just leaning back. I might be able to bring my elbows down to the block back behind me. Couple breaths more here. Inhale, bring ourselves up. See, 1 minute, that wasn't so bad, right? Take the right leg and extend it, and we'll bend the left one back. So again, I'm sitting inside the foot and the ankle, and the thigh bone is pointing mostly forward, right? It's resting down. Add props, right? You could also be having the hips elevated here. I'll reset that 1 minute timer. And you start to drop the upper body back. You only go as far as your body dictates, right? I'll just drop my elbows back to the block again. Just options though, right? Remember, Sphinx pose is a perfectly wonderful alternate. Just a few breaths more here. And there you go. Inhale, bring yourself up. Unfold that leg from back behind you. Let's bounce the knees a little, roll the feet, the ankles. We'll come to lying down on our backs now. If you've got the yoga block, bring that with you. Alternate is a couple of folded blankets. We'll be using whatever support you have, a cushion, even a firm cushion. We'll be putting this underneath the sacrum for a supported bridge pose, okay? So lying down on our backs, knees bent, feet to the floor. Grab whatever prop it is that you're using. You'll press into the floor, lift the hips up, slide that support underneath the sacrum, right? So it's that flat part just above your tailbone, right? Between the two hip points. Right? So if you find your hip points, they're going to be right up above that block. All right. Whew, one of my favorite postures here. We'll stay here for 2 whole minutes. And options here, remember, there's nothing dictating how high this support is. You might have it very low, you might have it higher. Do what works for you, what feels restorative, opening. Now you can certainly keep the feet on the floor with the knees bent, or might try extending the legs, either one or both. Just to get a really wonderful opening through the front of the hips. Right, that last posture we did, the saddle or the half saddle, was more opening front of the thigh. Now we've just kind of moved this up to the front of the hip. But this is also putting us in a supported back bend. So if this feels funky at all in your low back, feel free to bring the knees back, bending the knees, bringing the soles of the feet to the floor, right? Or adjust the height of what's underneath the hips. You may even invite openness back into the shoulders, the chest, the upper body by taking the arms up overhead. We've got just a few more breaths here. Your legs are extended one at a time. Bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet to the floor. Press down, lift yourself off whatever support you have, and slowly lower the hips all the way down. Set those props off to the side. We'll finish with twisted roots. Lovely twist. Let's begin by hugging both knees in towards your chest. I will take the right thigh and cross it over the left thigh, just like you're crossing your legs in a chair, right? So the thighs are crossed. Now we'll keep the legs lifted here. And take your arms out like a T, and then drop both knees over to your left, right? So the right thigh is up on top. And if you still have the blanket or the blocks, whatever you have, they're great support to put underneath the right knee as it drops over to the left. Of course, you don't need to put any support in there at all. Right? It's just a lovely little way to use what we have around us. Right arm can extend farther out to the right or up. You might bend the elbow. I always find it quite lovely to rest the left hand on top of the right thigh or knee here. Not to pull it over anymore, but just to rest. Keep building that foundation for gratitude, for abundance. Keep building that inner belief that you are enough. I am enough. Let's inhale slowly. Untwist. Uncross your legs. Let's cross those the opposite direction. So we hug the knees back into the chest. Left thigh crosses over the right. And then dropping both knees over to the right. So now the left one is on top. If you used a block or a prop or something on side one, go ahead and bring it over to side two as well. Left arm adjusts, goes out to the left, maybe extended, maybe with a bend in the elbow. Any final fidgets or adjustments to your posture, adding a prop, take away a prop. Maybe turn your head into the twist. Love this twist variation. I am grateful for this twist variation this morning. Not only is it a really great release for the spine, but when we keep the legs crossed in that twisted root variation, I'm also getting a great stretch to outer hip and thigh. Take one more deep breath here. We'll inhale and slowly untwist yourself, taking the feet out wide. Let's let your knees take a couple of windshield wipers side to side, just releasing the twist. And then walk the feet back in. So the feet are about hips distance apart. Just really, really super briefly, we're going to lift the hips up, take a really quick bridge pose, and then lower the hips back down. I always find that really neutralizing for the spine, the low back after a twist, and extend your legs out. Make your way to Shavasana. Let the feet flop open. Arms by your sides, palms up, or feel free to place hands on the low belly, or maybe even one on the belly, one on the heart. Take a full deep breath in. Exhale. Soft sigh out. Allow the lips to softly close as your awareness turns inward again. And while you rest in Shavasana, allowing your body to absorb the practice, I'd love to share a poem called Enough by Dana Faulds. It's enough to offer love, no matter how imperfectly received or given. It's enough to try and fail at a difficult task, enough to fall and rise, stumble, fall again, sigh, and start to walk, however slowly, in the direction the soul points. It's enough to seek peace and find pain, to gain nothing but a vision of truth and take the long route home. It's enough to feel temptation, the dance of the senses, the hot pull of desire. Enough to walk through fire, sleep and cry and fear or welcome dying. It's enough to breathe and be, to feel the touch of wind on skin. It's enough to take the day as it comes, to watch the ripples on the lake as the rock sinks to the bottom, to see the wild reflection of the surface calm into a mirror once again. It's enough to hear the voice of fear and hide, or seek it out and face the shame or shadows. It's enough to set out to tame demons and watch them multiply instead. It's enough to be buffeted by the winds of change and not blown over. I and you and all of us, more than enough. Let's take a full deep breath in here as you begin to call the energy back to the body, wiggling fingers and toes. And slowly, in your own way, in your own time, bring yourself up to sit. Or of course, if you wish for a longer Shavasana, feel free to stay as long as you like. So I'll close here, joining hands in Anjali Mudra, palm against palm, as you bow chin to your chest in a gesture of gratitude, always closing with a little bit of gratitude. Gratitude to yourself for taking this time for you today. And as always, I thank you so much for joining me and sharing your yoga practice today. Namaste.